Welcome to the Gratitude and Attitude Podcast, an organic and sometimes hilarious ongoing conversation between two soul sisters who have a lot of gratitude and sometimes a little bit of attitude. Welcome to Gratitude and Attitude, everybody. I'm Pri.
And I'm Nan.
And we want to welcome you to our 9th episode. And we got a really, really cool topic planned today. And it's something that's just, everybody has thoughts about this topic. And even Britney Spears wrote a song about it.
Yeah, let's listen to Britney Spears.
We're not listening to Britney Spears.
Poor girl.
Not that there's anything wrong with her.
No.
Poor girl.
Poor girl, though.
Yeah, we do feel bad for her. But the song that she wrote about was, I guess she had some horrible relationship with someone who was toxic. So we're talking about dealing with toxic people today. And we both have a lot of thoughts about it because we both had kind of those episodes in our life where we had toxic people in there. So I want to tell you a story. And it's so weird. Like this stuff happens like to me on the day that we have our, like that we podcast, that we record. But I was at my nail tech, who's this really interesting, like fabulous woman. And I was talking about what we're podcasting about today with toxic people. And there's also a woman, I think the woman who owns the salon, there's only one nail tech and one hairdresser. And that woman had her customer come in and we were talking about, we're going to be podcasting on toxic people and dealing with toxic people. And the woman who walked in and she goes, ooh. And I kind of looked at her like, because I didn't know if she was talking about us. And I said, yeah, it's a kind of an interesting subject. And she goes, yeah. And I said, well, let me ask you guys. So I asked, the woman who does the hair and then her client and then my amazing nail tech. I said, why do you think, like, how do toxic people come into your life? And the one woman who I'd never met before, I still don't know her name, she goes, I know because I was married to a toxic person. And I think it's because I had a, I want to help you sign on my forehead when I met him. So it was interesting. It started like the conversation about how do toxic people come into your life? How does that happen?
Toxic people to me, I think they don't show you how toxic they are until later. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because I think if I meet someone and I right away and I get that vibe that this person's not going to be great, I got to be real careful.
Yeah.
Then I usually don't go
Allow
forward.
them. Yeah.
But it's when toxic people aren't toxic at first. They do their best behavior.
Yeah.
They're on their best behavior. And then you see this toxicness coming out like little by little.
Well, it's so interesting because immediately both my lady, the other woman and her client all had stories about toxic people in their lives. And when you think about it, we all have them.
Yes.
I have one that's so serious that I'm like, who that was?
Who? A friend?
It was an old friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who's just miserable, just horrible human being. And what I said, it's so funny that you said that because that woman was like, I had a sign on my forehead. I said, well, sometimes they see the sign on your forehead. And I said, but sometimes toxic people are amazing actors and actresses.
Yes, that's what I think.
Yeah. And I think for us in particular, we have that.
Yeah, because I don't think we would go forward in a relationship with somebody, whether it's a friend or someone you're getting involved with, if they show you who their cards right there.
Right.
Because we would be like, I'm out. Like, I can't hang out with this person.
Yes.
Like, so negative.
Correct.
All those wonderful things.
Yes. So, okay. So that's what we're talking about, dealing with toxic people. And the first question I wanted to ask you was, how do you recognize a toxic person? Because that's the perfect lead in, because you're like, sometimes you don't. But eventually, how do you recognize a toxic person?
Well, excuse me, I have to clear my throat.
Yeah, that's like a lot of throat clearing.
No, excuse me. I'm a hot mess. Hold on. I think it starts with small things.
Yeah.
I think you start seeing like their behavior.
Yeah.
Like you get like these little warnings.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like things happen, like they do things or they say things or they expect things. And when you're around a person and then you start feeling negative, like you start feeling negative.
Yes.
You start like, wow, you know, I'm leaving this person and I feel like shit.
So
you know what I mean?
What I read today in, I forgot what blog post it was, but it was this morning when I was finishing up prepping for this. And it said, you feel icky.
No, I just said
when
shit.
You've been around. I like the word icky, but we can say shit too, although we are a clean podcast.
That's not a curse word. Anyway, but but it's true, icky. That's exactly. You feel icky. You don't feel good. Like you feel terrible. It's like they drain you. You feel like something, the life just got sucked out of you, or, you know, you're just like, well, that wasn't fun, you know?
Yeah.
But I think toxic people like to bring you down. They like to project all their negativity and how they feel about something on you. Yeah. And they want you to act the same way or feel the same way about it.
So if you were to say to a bunch of different people, believe it or not, I have no statistics today.
Are you kidding me?
I also don't have a book.
I think I'm going to faint.
That I'm going to recommend because I haven't read a book on toxic people ever.
That's because you lived it.
That's true.
You don't need a book.
I'm going to write a book.
I was just going to say you could write your own book.
I'm going to write a book.
You should.
I'm going to write a book on toxic people. And I'm going to name names. No, I won't name names.
You will not.
So I want to. So if you were to ask different people, like me asking the women in the salon this morning, like what are the characteristics? How do you recognize a toxic person? What characteristics do they have? It was interesting. Each one of the people, 3 different people, had 3 different answers.
Okay.
So when I said to the hairdresser, I looked at her. She said they victimize themselves. They're always victims. And then the other woman who had been married to one was like, they isolate you. And then my amazing nail tech was like, what did she say? It was fascinating. She was like, you feel bad when you're around them, they drain you or something like that. So that really has to do more with how you respond to them. But what do you think give me multiple characteristics, because I have a bunch written down myself.
Okay. So
what their behavior is.
How are some behaviors often associated with toxic people? So their behaviors. So manipulation, making you feel guilt, deceit, constant negativity.
Yeah.
Okay. Always complaining or focusing on the worst. Criticism and judgment. So they're frequently putting others down.
Yeah.
Lack of accountability, drama and conflict. That's chaos. They like arguments, putting people against each other.
Yeah, that's like triangulation.
Yeah.
And,
boundary, disrespect, ignoring, violating your personal limits, envy, jealousy, sabotaging others. Those are good.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that's a bad person. I mean, that's terrible. But think about that. Those are all true. Yeah. And even like you said that the one lady said, what was the one? Because it's not in here. I think you said
a self-victimization. They're always a victim.
Right. So all these things, I think when you have a person who is toxic, they want you to feel all these things.
Yeah.
They want to project all that on you.
Yeah.
Because there has never been a time that I shouldn't say that. There's sometimes once in a while if I'm around a negative person and I leave that person, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to make plans to ever be around this person again. Right. But how do you feel after you leave a person like that?
You feel icky.
Yeah, you feel icky. You just feel terrible. Yeah. And that's what they want to do. They don't want you to be happy. Yeah. They don't want you to be successful. Right. They're very, like, it's envy. They're envious. They're jealous. They're not happy for you.
Correct.
Like, you're truly happy about something in your life, you know?
Well, one of the things that that I'm actually very good at is picking patterns. Like that was one of the things that made me good at my profession. And then that's also something that I'm good at in reading people. And so one of the things that we can say about dealing with toxic people is, number one, you have to recognize that person is toxic. And how do you recognize it? Well, you diagnose characteristics, and everything that Nan just said is a characteristic. There was one on there that you didn't have.
What was that?
It was gaslighting.
Oh, yeah.
A toxic person gaslights. So for anyone who doesn't know what gaslighting is,
they like it.
the gaslighting is when, so I'll give you an example of this. I actually knew people who this happened to. I was friends with the husband. His wife started cheating on him. She was toxic. Started cheating on him. And then this is what gaslighting is.
Right.
He confronted her and she was like, "You're crazy. You have problems." They take it and then they say, "You're actually the one with the problems."
Right.
Like, don't you think that you should look into that? They take everything and they reverse it. That's what gaslighting is. That's like the Nan and Pri definition of gaslighting. Of course, it's much, much bigger than that. And it's well worthy. If you feel like you recognize what we just talked about, look it up, go online, learn what gaslighting is, because you may be getting gaslit right now. But typically, toxic people use that as it's part of the manipulation that you're talking about. But gaslighting is really bad. Like I knew someone who told her husband she was cheating on him. Second, there's two different instances I have, totally different people. She told her husband, "I think you're paranoid. You need to be on medicine." And he put himself on medicine.
Oh, wow.
And I'll never forget. I was like, oh my God, that's like the ultimate toxicity. That this person thinks they're sick because their spouse has lied through her teeth to them. It's sad.
But I wonder too, though, if people who are like that, toxic people, truly believe that in themselves. Like, let's just say,
because they know they're cheating.
Right. But I'm just saying, let's just say she was saying, if she confessed her and says, "Well, you know what? It's your fault.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's your fault that you don't spend enough time with me. You don't do this. You don't do that. If you did this, then I would be cheating on you." Like, that's gaslighting too. You're making that person feel, but maybe in some instance, it's true that somebody cheats. But I don't know. I think that maybe in their own minds too, that they really truly believe that. I don't know.
This is the interesting part about just doing the research that I did. There's a very little content on toxic people's perspectives.
Oh, like what they really believe in,
right.
what they're thinking.
Yeah. And my personal response to that is, I don't need to know what a toxic person is thinking. I need to first identify that they're toxic. And then second, remove them from my life.
Right.
So for me, it's a very simple formula that, period.
Right. You're not caring. You don't care what they're thinking in their mind. You're just being, okay, I need to know if this person is toxic and stay away from him.
Yeah. If this person is toxic, then, so what is one of the definitions of toxicity? It's poison.
Yes, poison.
So when you're around something like Snow White ate a poisoned apple and she immediately fell into a sleep. It's the same thing with ingesting that person's poison.
Yeah.
That's what feeling icky is about. Like, who was the first toxic person in the fairy tales? The Wicked Witch, right? And I'm sure there's like...
I thought you were going to talk biblically. I was going to say in the beginning.
Well, think about that.
Yeah.
Who was the first toxic person in the Bible?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, it was a snake. It was a devil, but it was a serpent.
Devil.
Yeah,
it was Satan. He was the first toxic. And it's interesting because toxic people are very full of themselves.
That's why I say that maybe they truly believe what they're doing is correct.
I don't know. I mean, I will tell you, how did Lucifer get flung from the heavens? He thought he was better than God.
Yeah.
And God was so God that he literally took him and flung him from the heavens. And the word says that he threw him so hard that he looked like a lightning bolt.
Can you imagine seeing that?
Well, can you imagine creating something like an angel and then having it be so beautiful that it thinks it's more beautiful than its
Because
creator.
he truly believed that. That's
did.
what I'm saying. He truly believed.
He did. And maybe that is the thing. With
I don't know. I
toxic people.
just threw it out there.
It's interesting that you're curious.
Yeah,
about that.
I am, because then you think it's more of like a mental thing. You know what I mean? Like really, truly, like.
I remembered what my nail tech said.
What?
I said that what are some characteristics, like, when they said that?
Yeah.
She said they're narcissists.
Narcissist, yeah.
So a narcissist thinks that they are amazing.
Yeah, so this keeps on turning off.
Yeah.
Well, you talked about like what to look for.
Yeah.
So like you're like, that's what you would do. You want to look to see if this person's toxic.
Right.
And then if it's toxic,
Well,
then
you want to look for the characteristics.
The characteristics, right.
Yeah.
So it says here that some of the things to look for is somebody who talks negative all the time. And we already talked about you feel drained after you're with this person, and shift blame.
Yeah.
Kind of like we talked about that. And if you find yourself like on eggshells all the time with a person, like you have to be careful, like what you say and all those things. But those are just a few characteristics.
Yeah, characteristics.
Did I say that right?
No, you didn't, but then
How do
you
you
fixed
say it?
Oh, characteristic that you did.
Okay.
At first you didn't,
I
then
said
you
character. I have bad pronouncing. I pronounce bad.
I don't even know if pronouncing is the right
I
word.
don't know, but listen, everyone, I do have my own language sometimes, so bear with me.
It's called nanny language. we are keeping a dictionary.
I like my words sometimes. I'm like, that's a word. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's been
it is.
many, many years where now I don't even say that's not a word. I just
know.
am quiet. And then you say, was that a word?
Was that a word? Did I say that right?
And then I go,
No.
no, that was not a word.
I do my best. That's all I can do. I come from parents who barely speak English.
Yeah, they are true Italians. Okay, so behaviors, and
Yes.
we talked about that. We talked about gaslighting. One of the things that was interesting was that not only do you look for the behavior, but you also look for the response. So I wrote down a list of reactions that kind of prove that might be some like data, like some data and information that says, okay, when someone reacts in the following ways, they may be toxic.
Okay.
They're emotionally volatile. They have unpredictable outbursts, and they have difficulty taking responsibility. So you not just have the characteristics, but then you have the responses that I think, how do you identify someone who's toxic? You start to look for patterns of behavior, and as you look for them, part of that is when something happens and the way they respond to it, is that also toxic?
That's good.
And the third way to recognize is the way you feel.
Right.
So number one is,
icky.
what are their characteristics? Number two, hey, what's happening with your phone?
I have no idea.
It's like doing a thing.
You see that big black ball?
It's like this. It's like
that was
a lens.
ChatGPT.
Was it ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. We got a little distracted, but back to dealing with toxic people. So you have to recognize them, and then you recognize them by their characteristics, one, then the way they respond to, and then what did I just say?
How you feel.
How
And
you feel around them.
Yeah, and we have to remember too that we're not talking about somebody having a bad day.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not saying that, but we're talking like you just said. It's a pattern with toxic people. It's something that they do consistently.
Yes.
It's not if you have a bad day or a bad week,
Right.
and you're just not in a good mood, or you're just, we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
This is somebody who is consistently, doing these things. Their behavior,
they're showing their
the
character
signs, right.
in all those signs, and you're looking at them and you're thinking. So I mean, like getting really personal about it, I will tell you, I had a friendship with a woman who was so powerfully toxic that when our relationship ended, it exploded.
Yeah.
It was like, it blew up.
Is that the one I know about?
Yes.
Sorry.
And I remember thinking, like, how did I not catch this?
I've seen it.
Yeah. You
did.
saw it.
I
You
was like,
saw it, but
"Whoa,
nobody else.
interesting."
I didn't see it.
She was even jealous of me.
I know. It was so weird.
Our time together, remember? She'd make you feel bad.
Yeah,
horrible.
She would, and the truth was, I did walk on eggshells around her.
Yeah.
And one of the ways I will tell you, and I don't know if you've ever had this, but I felt sorry for her. That's how I became friends with her. I asked her. I was teaching a Bible study at church, and I saw her at like a store somewhere, and I had met her like briefly once before. And she was like super friendly and nice to me. And I was like, she said, "How are things going?" I said, "Great. I'm just about to start doing a Bible study at my church." And she said, "Oh, what's it about? And I'd like to come."
Oh, okay.
That's how it happened. That's how it started. And fast forward like 7 or 8 years, we were friends. Maybe 10. I don't know. I don't think it was that long of friendship, but
But
I
still,
mean, that's
8
still
years
long.
is long.
Well, and I didn't spend a lot of time with her, which also made it weird because there was like a possessiveness about her that was very weird. And as the relationship sort of wore on, I started to see more and more, and I was so disturbed by it.
I remember.
But I'll tell you the thing that disturbed me the most
What?
was that I was like, how did I not catch that? How did I not see that?
I think you did a little bit. I think you did. It was just, it's breaking up. It's like a breakup.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And if you're a compassionate, loving person,
Yes.
like you just said, you became friends with her because you felt bad. In a sense, you started that way.
I did.
But then something grew because you stayed friends for so long.
Yeah.
You went traveled together.
We
You did stuff together.
We did.
But it's complicated to just end a friendship.
It is. It's hard.
And especially because the way she felt about you also,
Right.
I think, know.
Well, I'll tell you. So one of the things that as I look back and I piece it together, and I did all the work a couple of years ago, like this friendship ended a long time ago. But the thing that I remember thinking was, I remembered her saying to me, "I have no friends." And I remember looking at her and saying, "Why do you think that is?"
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't know. I think I make friends with toxic people." Can you believe it? And then 3 years later,
people.
and I'll tell you when it happened. She moved for a job to like a city kind of close to where we are. And so I saw her off and on, but the less I saw her, the more I saw her qualities.
Oh, that's interesting.
That was an interesting thing because that's when I really started catching on. So she moved. She said she was going to be like wildly successful, and she was moderately successful at what she did. She said she was going to be wildly successful. And the first time I saw her, I met her for lunch in this town, in the city that she lived in. And she was like, "It's so wrong. I moved to this town, to this city, because I was told by the partner that hired me that I was going to like kill it, and I'm not." And I said, "Why do you think that's happening?" "Well, I don't know. It's his fault."
Oh, the person that told her?
She blamed it on the person who recruited her to the company. He said, "I was going to have all these customers and clients, and I haven't gotten any." And I was like, "Well, like, why do you think that is?" And she was like, "I don't know. It's his fault."
Wow.
The blame shifting. And I remember thinking, wait a minute. The other part of that was in that same conversation, she said something really negative, and I remember thinking, yuck. And I said, "Well, at least blah, blah, like something positive." And she goes, "Wow, you're Miss Positivity," as if there was something wrong with it.
Being positive, yeah.
And I wanted to be like, F you.
Yeah.
Like I literally wanted to get up from the table and go, F you, what's your problem? And then I was like, oh, I'm overreacting. She's struggling. She's going through a hard time. So I stayed friends with her. But as time wore on, it was more and more and more. That's my personal experience.
Yeah. And it's interesting because toxic people don't think they're toxic.
Yeah.
Like she's like,
She was like everybody else is.
No, they don't look in the mirror and think, well, maybe I have a problem.
Yeah.
No. Everybody else has a problem.
What is your experience with toxic people?
I've had experience with toxic people.
Yeah, give us some examples.
I've had people in my life that that you just become like walking on eggshells, having to not be truly who I am to make them happy.
Do you have like an example?
I do. I think I've had several friends in my life that they were draining. They wanted my undivided attention. They made me feel like we were a couple and not friends. It was weird. It was just like, excuse me, but we're not together. Like we're friends. Like that's not my job to try to make you happy. And that, I mean, like, I'm not talking like physically. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking just like, like things like if they want to go eat somewhere or they want, oh, what about where I want? It's always where you are. It's like, it was so crazy. I'm just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But draining, like every day was, it was hard. It wasn't easy. It was just a struggle. Like, and I felt icky.
Yes.
All the time. And
that icky word.
It's just horrible. You just know it. You just feel it. You just know when somebody doesn't bring that peace and that to the table. It's nothing but chaos and I always say it's a feeling of uneasiness.
Yes.
And you just isn't good. And then you think about it and it's on your mind and it's just not a peaceful experience. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense.
And you're just like, this is miserable. Why am I hanging out with this person? Why am I doing this? But I am the kind of person where I will hold on. And then I'm just done. Then I'm just like this. Okay, no more. Can't be friends. I'm out. Like that's what happens. It's terrible. But I try because, I feel people need chances. Like I don't, and when I'm in a friendship, I love hard. Like that's me. Like I am that way. So it's hard for me to pull away. But sometimes I'm like, this is affecting me in so many levels. Like I can't sleep. They're driving me crazy, and then I have to worry about if I'm with this friend or that friend and I don't invite that person, they get mad. I'm just like, I just want
you to know, never invite me to be with anybody because I'm good.
I know how you are.
I like being by myself.
I know you don't get your feelings hurt.
I don't.
But that's why I think too, another reason is when you in a friendship that is healthy or even a relationship that's healthy and you realize, wow, this is a healthy relationship. This is great. Like you're like, oh my gosh.
Yes. I mean, that becomes like a way to compare what you're experiencing. Yeah. I want to camp out on how do you feel when you're around a toxic person? I know we've already discussed this, but here's a list of what I put together. Yeah. And here's kind of like framing back towards you, what you were saying. You feel drained.
Yeah, drained.
Of energy. You feel diminished.
Yeah.
You feel low.
Yeah.
Demoralized. Unconfident.
Right.
You feel unsteady.
Yeah.
And sometimes weirdly unappreciated.
Yeah. That's definitely.
All those things. And this was an interesting thing that I read that I feel this way, but the person, I don't have like the credit. It was like an anonymous person who wrote it. But basically they said, you even feel sometimes like you don't know this, but when you're around a toxic person, their ideas can infect you.
Yeah. And
all of a sudden, you could have the same sort of negative thought pattern that your toxic friend holds. And like you'll find yourself, like somebody said the other day, bad things always happen to me. And my nature is to go, whoa. Don't prophecy that on yourself. Yeah. Don't use that as your own label. But if you're impacted by a negative person, you might find yourself saying the same thing the next day.
It's true.
And that's how you get infected. It's poison. Toxic is poison. Basically, we can change the word toxic and say dealing with poison people.
Yeah.
And we'd probably take it more seriously.
Right. But you're right. It definitely does that to you when you're around somebody a lot.
Yes.
It wears on you. It's like not, I mean, we don't always become a product of our environment, but it's like if you hear something over and over and over again, you just kind of start believing it.
Yes.
And it just poisons your mind. And first of all, it should not be this hard
I know.
if you're in a good relationship.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Press pause. Say that again. That's so good.
It should not be this hard.
That's it.
If you're in a healthy relationship, whether it's with your significant other, a friend, it shouldn't be that hard. If it's healthy and good, it should not be that hard. And when it becomes a lot of work, then it's an issue. And it starts... To be in a relationship, it takes work. Whether you have a relationship with God too, it takes time. You got to spend time with them. I'm not saying that, but I mean like work for you to mentally stay healthy and try to be like, oh my gosh, I got to really work on this. It's affecting my life when I'm not around them. I'm thinking negative. I feel terrible about myself. Or, that's what I mean by that.
Yeah, that's so good. Actually, that's very clear. And I love that you clarified that because everything does take work. Yeah. But not that kind of work.
Yeah, it's different work.
Oh,
everybody, I forgot to introduce Thatchy. Thatchy's here today.
Yeah, introduce him.
I'm so sorry. Thatch is taking place of Carlos. Carlos is not here today. So Thatchy is taking place for him. We forgot to put his headphones on.
Everybody, this is my dog, Thatcher.
He's a sweetheart.
He loves his Aunt Nan.
Yeah.
He only comes upstairs when she's here and we're podcasting.
Sorry, Thatch. We forgot to introduce you.
He's our special guest. Oh, look.
Our special guest.
He's looking at the camera.
Thatchy boy.
Oh, amazing.
All right. Back on track.
Okay. Okay, everybody. Yes. We've been talking about toxic people. This is the opposite of toxic. This is healthy, this is pure and
love
sweet.
And joy.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a toy.
Now
We're
sit
very
down,
proud of
Thatchy.
you. Go lie down. Go lie down in your beddy.
Okay, there. He's good.
I told you we shouldn't have him.
He's perfectly fine. Keep going. As long as he doesn't knock over the cameras, we're good.
He's our surprise guest,
Look,
everybody.
there he goes.
Oh, good boy.
Okay. He just wanted to be recognized. He said, nobody introduced me. Go back.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about
toxic people.
And what you said was so brilliant. And just to bring it back and just to repeat it for the third time, because sometimes, I don't know if you know this, but this is like actually from the advertising world. In order to remember something, you have to hear it 7 times.
Really?
Yes.
I think I have to hear it at least 10.
I think that's a little low.
Probably 20. Probably 20 times. I'm like, repeat that? Oh, gosh. Anyway.
So you said it shouldn't be so hard. And I actually
a healthy relationship
should not be so hard. Okay, I actually have in my hot little hands an amazing list.
All right.
I think I'm going to put it. I'm going to have George teach me how to do show notes.
Oh,
so that we put here's some of the things like on these 2 pieces of paper. I have all these different characteristics of a toxic person, and we may want to put that on there. There's a really interesting article from, I think, Psychology Today about how to recognize toxic individuals and toxic relationships. And then, this is interesting. So one of the things that I read was everybody can be a little toxic.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And it's about recognizing the spectrum. This is what this person said. I had to email it to myself, so I don't have the
Well, Pri, I think it's like I said, if it's a short period of time.
Yes.
Like if you're having a bad week, you could be you could be negative and toxic in a sense of your energy or whatever, but I think that's normal.
Yes. Yes, that's well said. And then let me read this. It's 2 paragraphs. I'm going to read it real quick.
Go ahead.
So the spectrum of toxicity applies to these specific toxic traits. Take the victim mentality, for example. On one end of the spectrum, you have a highly defended, deluded, unaccountable person. And on the other end of that spectrum, you have an appropriately vulnerable, honest, responsible, healthy person. And then you have a bunch of people who feel both attacked and empowered to do something about it. Or they have some moments where they feel helpless and self-pity, and other moments where they can take ownership and assert control. People can fall anywhere on that spectrum. And people can exhibit different degrees or durations of each toxic quality on that spectrum. Classifying toxic people isn't quite as cut and dry as most pop psychology makes it seem. but appreciating the nuances of how people behave can actually lead to better outcomes. So that actually applies to what you were saying, which is you have to watch. You have to see.
Yeah.
Now, I've been guilty of watching, seeing, recognizing, and then allowing my own sense of guilt to keep me connected to that poison person for a long time. So my little, word of wisdom for today, and what I really hope, if anyone hears nothing that I said, but you hear this, is toxic people equal poison. Would you continue to sip on poison if you knew it was going to kill you? No. You would get it as far away from you as possible. And I think that actually kind of leads into the next part of our conversation. But I want to add one more thing to that. This is the Britney Spears lyric. And I was reading like these slides on it, and it was saying toxic love can be addictive.
Sure.
And Britney Spears says, "I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic?" In her mega hit Toxic, pop star Britney Spears sings that toxic relationships can be equally torturous and addictive.
Yeah.
If her observations about the human condition don't convince you, a published article in 2017 in the American Journal of Drug and Alcohol Abuse confirms not only that it's possible to become addicted to unhealthy relationships, but that such addictions actually resemble substance addiction.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, yeah, think about it. Think about people, these poor women who stay in abusive relationships that's toxic for them, and they keep on going back. It's like an addiction. Like there has to be something real physical with the brain that, so they're saying that, know, it's not like, I'm out. It's an addiction that you have, and you just keep going back to it. It's sad.
It is sad.
It's definitely sad.
It's sad. And it's like, it's yet again another encouragement to get as healthy as you can on your own, in your own individual self.
Right.
So that the more healthy you become, the more apparent it becomes.
Right.
This is interesting as the follow-up to that, because remember at the beginning of the podcast, I talked about the woman who said, I was married to a toxic person. And I was telling everybody, our greatest desire is that people would learn from our mistakes, right? And that we'd be able to share and have somebody else learn, not the hard way, but the woman who had been married, I said, well, that's why we're doing this podcast. And she said, it's true. When you go through anything, you can come out of it a better person. She said, for example, my ex-husband was so toxic. But when I learned about myself and I learned how miserable I was, it prepared me to be a much healthier person. And I'm remarried, and I married the most amazing person.
Oh, good for her.
Because I knew who I didn't want to marry. That's the beauty of it. And the next slide after that was that love can survive a toxic relationship. And Uma Thurman, a very famous, stunningly beautiful actress, said, I still love the people I've loved, even if I cross the street to avoid them. Good one, right? I still love the people I've loved, even if I cross the street to avoid them. And she was speaking about her ex-husband, Ethan Hawke, as there's some rabbi who was talking about this. You always get to choose who you spend time around. Sometimes the choice is it's motivated not by love, but by a desire to live a healthier life. Yeah. I loved those two things.
No, that's really good.
Right?
Yeah. But she's making the choice not to be around this person because she knows she still can love him, but he's not good for her.
Exactly.
And that's okay. I mean, that's good. I mean, you can't feel guilty about doing something that's good for you.
Yes.
Like,
man, that's a win right there.
Yeah. I mean, I know we have heart, if you have a heart, sometimes you feel bad. Like you feel like, well, I really don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt that person. All right. I feel terrible if I'm going to do that. But we can't, because if it's helping you, it's making you healthier.
Yes.
And you're able to do this. I mean, I'm not saying like if you have kids and you're getting divorced, I mean, they could go to a big spectrum of things, but I'm just saying just in general, like if it's something you can do and it's it's not that big of a deal, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like tying not loose ties.
What's going on? What
like
just
with
happened?
With your friends, like letting them go.
Cutting ties.
Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay. Thank you, Pri. I was like having a seizure.
No, you weren't, but you were like trying to use your hands and it was
Cutting
confusing
ties.
you and you were
Cutting
like
ties.
trying to say it's the end, but it's not.
What I'm saying is if you're cutting ties with a friend or something that's simple and it's an easy choice. Basically, it's your health or them or staying friends with them and being unhealthy and their toxicness.
That's can go into the dictionary.
But yeah, I mean, you can't feel guilty about trying to stay healthy. It's just not fair to you.
Yeah. And in the same token, sometimes people think, well, I'm going to tell them they're toxic. Like I'm going to help them become a better human being, and one thing I would caution and always say is you will never win with a toxic person.
Yeah.
You won't win. Their toxicity precludes them from being able to see their own portion of it.
Yeah.
So if you try and convince them or you try and say something's horribly toxic and wrong about you, they're going to think, no, something's toxic and wrong about you because it's always everybody but themselves. They have zero self-awareness and they don't care to have self-awareness.
So is that narcissist? That's narcissistic behavior.
Well, I would say a narcissist is a toxic person and a toxic person is a narcissist. I mean, very, very rarely.
They don't take criticism very well.
I do remember one story way back in the day of a woman who was very toxic, but she would get people to do things and pay for things for her because she was so self-victimizing. So in that case, you wouldn't have seen narcissism, although it might have been the underwriting motivation for that person. It was like a weird form of narcissism. It was like, I've just gone through this terrible time. And one of the things I would say one of the things I counsel kids who I mentor, I'm like, if you have a friend who bad things always happen to them and then they never stop happening, but they keep happening over and over and over again, and usually because of a decision they made, that person's toxic.
Yeah.
Like, so yes, narcissism is very much at play.
Well, it kind of seems related. It really seems, if you look at it, like the defensiveness, the blaming it on, there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, the shift blaming, the blaming shift and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But you won't win with them. So let's go into the second and final part of the podcast, which is what do you do when you know, okay, we've gone over signs of a toxic person, characteristics, the way they respond, the way you feel. So now you've identified it. Now what do you do?
You unfollow them in real life. You can unfollow people in real life. You have to keep your distance. Distance is very important. You have to make the choice to keep the distance from them. I mean, you have to, if you don't distance yourself from them, then, to me, that would be like the first thing to do is try to do it nicely.
Like how's nice?
Well, maybe not call as much, maybe not invite them as much. Just kind of do it slowly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be mean about it.
Yeah.
But, and then you just hope that they just kind of disappear.
Very not scientific.
I know,
but actually kind of right.
Yeah, because if you can sometimes confronting them about it takes away your peace. Well, sometimes,
Well, remember, you'll never win against a toxic person.
There you go.
That's
so then your peace, you'll always be like uneasy. But I think, that's what I would do. I would because I've done it. I've distanced myself.
Yes, you have.
And it kind of just fades. And then they're like, well, you don't call me. I don't see you. You don't hang out. You don't, and you're just
where have
like,
you been?
Well, I've just been busy.
Yeah, you're always doing stuff with so-and-so.
So you think they get the hint?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that there are some people who do. I had a friend, she was not nearly as toxic. That one friend was like the ultimate toxic, like poison pill. But I did have a friend well prior to her, many years ago, 20 years ago, who I decided I just don't want to be friends with her anymore. And I did go to lunch with her. And I sat down with her and she was like, it seems like you have a problem with me. And I said, I actually do. I think you're wildly disloyal. And I think you're
told her
unkind. That? Yeah.
Wow. Good for
you.
And
I was like, but she was like, well, I don't think I am. I was like, exactly. That's the point. But I cannot be friends with you. I can't be friends with you. You're also friends with like horrible human beings, bad people. I don't want to be around them. And she was like, I can't believe you said that. And I was like, well, you asked me to lunch. You wanted to know what was going on. I'm telling you.
Well, that's good. I mean, if you can do that, if you have that personality like yours and you can do that, then that's
great. One way to do it. I mean, I didn't go to win against her.
Right.
I was so young. I didn't even recognize.
Well, I've done that too.
Yes,
I've done both ways.
Yes, you have. So
I've done it too.
I think you're right though. And this is interesting. And this is a list of our episodes. On episode 5, we're on episode 9. If you go to episode 5, we talked about boundaries because that's really what it takes to cut a toxic / poison person out of your life is having a boundary, saying to yourself, and I'm saying this totally autobiographically, especially with that really, really toxic friend. I had to say to myself, my mental well-being, my emotional sense of peace and quiet and my sweet life that I worked really hard to make, it cannot have this person in here and also be sweet and quiet.
Can't have both.
Cannot have both.
No.
And so my advice is to literally, first you figured it out. Good for you. That's amazing. A lot of people don't even recognize that. They just get dragged down and pulled down that emotional vortex, that drain, but with a toxic person because they don't cut ties. Cutting the tie is the hard part. You can do it like face to face and look straight at that person and go, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Or you can do it in like the sort of like quiet vanishing
like you're stepping back slowly.
Yeah, slowly like disappearing back into the scenery. But the most important part of all of that is to have a boundary in which you value your own health. You value your own peace. Like that you have that capacity.
Right. You can't take it personally either.
Yes.
Like you can't take it personally because if you start thinking, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but if you start thinking about it personally, that's hard.
What did you mean? Because I looked at you, not because you I like that you said that, but I don't understand what you're saying.
So their behavior says more about them than like about you.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying don't take it personally and think you're the reason they were toxic.
Exactly.
Okay, that's important.
No, because some people do. Some people be, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I did something and that's why they're acting that way. So you can't do that. You have to, it's on them.
Right.
It's, it's on them. So,
yes.
And then 100%. You'll see people who don't want to be around them. You find that people are like, oh gosh, so-and-so's coming.
Yes. That's when it shows up.
Yeah. But it finished. I'm so sorry.
No, I actually have totally lost my train of thought, but for a really good reason because I love that because some people would go.
Yeah, they'll blame themselves.
And think about it. If you're around a toxic person long enough, they've caused you to question yourself. Like it's you, it's not them.
It's gaslighting.
That is the gaslighting.
It's gaslighting. And
it all ties together.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It really does. But the most important thing is boundaries. And go to episode 5. Oh, you know what? We're in episode 9. We've only dropped 2 episodes.
No, I know.
There's no
episode 5
I just asked you guys to watch episode 5. But wait.
It'll be out.
By the time you watch
Coming soon.
See, we're all like caught up in the time continuum. I feel like I'm in a Marvel movie.
Here you are.
Well, the truth is, by the time you see this, episode 5 would be out.
That is true.
So go back to episode 5.
I got complicated.
I made that super complicated, unnecessarily so.
It's
like
good.
big time, unnecessarily so. Okay, so have the boundary.
Yeah.
And love yourself enough to disconnect from toxicity.
Yeah.
Toxic equals poison. That is the biggest takeaway. And when you disconnect, don't go back.
No, unless that person comes to you and it's like, listen, I'm not that person anymore. I don't know. I mean,
See, this is where we differ a little bit.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm more of a second chance kind of person.
I'm not.
Yeah. So I feel like people can change by the grace of God.
When they're hit by the grace train.
That's another episode.
Episode 3.
Then I feel like, they can, but 2 strikes with me, you're out.
2. So
1 for her.
It's 1.
2 for me.
I'll tell you what it is.
Sometimes.
So here's an interesting little catchy phrase. This for me. First time is a mistake. Second time is a pattern.
Yeah.
So if you see somebody like that, no, I'm saying when you see it,
we said second chance.
then you disconnect from them. You don't give them a second chance.
Okay, sometimes. Let's just say sometimes.
My phrase doesn't work in this conversation at all, because I will tell you, yes, I will embrace anybody who's been hit by the grace train and comes back.
That's what I mean.
But typically, they have enough humility to come back to you and go, God took over my life.
Yeah.
He saved me, and I was saved by Jesus Christ, and I want to come back and apologize to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
How many people have you had come to you? Exactly.
None.
Yet.
Yes. Still
You're
hope.
going to be an optimist.
That's okay. I don't need any more friends. I'm good. I'm good on the
that's
friend.
right. Yeah.
I don't need it.
We do have Alexa. She's our new friend.
Yes. She just
Back
lives
to
far
talking about
away.
George, I know.
First I'm like, Alexa, like the Alexa are far, I was like, wait a minute. No, She's
Alexa.
She is. We wish she was closer.
I know. So we do have enough friends.
Yeah.
And what I would say for those of you who are out there thinking, hey, I might have a toxic person in my life, spend a little time being like introverted and introspective about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like give it some thought. And we've given you some ways to identify if that person is toxic.
Yes. And just one thing that was weighing on my mind, I was just thinking too, because talking about second chances, but be really careful. When I say that, you have to be careful because sometimes they'll try to get back in your life and they're not where they need to be.
Yeah.
For you guys to have a good, healthy friendship or whatever relationship you have. So be careful when you crack that door. If you crack that door.
That's good. I'm glad you said that.
Because once that door is cracked, they will come in and open that door so wide.
And it's very debilitating.
Yes.
And it'll make you feel 2 times worse.
Yeah.
Because you allowed them back in. That's why I tend to avoid them like the plague. And I just choose not to do that.
No, I get what you're saying. But I mean, we're on the same wavelength when they get hit by the grace train. Because I'm like, oh no, I can't answer that call. Because if I open that door is going to get kicked wide open.
Correct.
So I don't do it. Yeah. But like you said, I have never had anyone. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I've never done that because I don't feel like I'm that person. I'm not a toxic, negative person. Because when you say that, I'm thinking, have I ever gone to someone and said, hey, I mean, like, I'm sorry. I mean, I say I'm sorry, like about things, but I'm not a toxic person, you know?
I don't think you've poisoned anybody in your
No,
lifetime.
I haven't. I'm just full of
we don't know.
Candy.
We're still struggling with words today. We're a little out of
sweetness
practice.
And craziness. All of the above.
You're like a nutty caramel.
I am.
You're
salty. Maybe with some sea salt.
A sea salt caramel thing. Chewy. We're being silly.
I know. Anyway, but
I think
I just wanted to say that just to be
yeah.
careful if you do invite. It's not even you inviting them back. It's just even allowing it, that relationship to even kind of exist.
Yeah. There is no place for toxicity in your life. When you think of somebody as toxic, immediately say to yourself, they're poison.
Yep.
Do I want to feed myself poison? No. If you're feeding yourself poison, you're going to get sick.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really important message. And for us, it's like dealing with toxic people. It's just so, really, the topic sentence shouldn't have been dealing with toxic people. It should have been recognizing toxic people and inviting them out of your life, because you don't want to deal with them. Like, of course you have to until you recognize it. Then once you recognize it, it's over. Like, okay, disconnect, put them away from you.
Yeah.
Don't expose yourself to poison anymore. There's no need for it. Toxic people have no place in your life.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's important. So anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up? Because we had a lot of thoughts about this.
No, I think that's it. Just be careful.
I have a quote.
Okay.
Do you want to hear my quote?
Sure.
You liked this when I told you about this one.
I did.
It said, well, there are two quotes. Some people are like clouds. When they disappear, it's a beautiful day.
I like that.
Yeah, that's getting that toxic person out of your life. But this is the funnier one.
Is it the one I liked?
Yeah. Some people just need a high five.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Some people just need a high five in the face with a chair.
With the chair, I love it. Because sometimes that's what I feel like.
Violence.
Sometimes I feel like doing that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna throw this chair at them.
Oh my God,
that's hilarious. No, but sometimes
that's my final word on that. I think we've made it clear. You know, we really want you to steer clear of them.
Yeah, be careful.
But of course, you know, with my share about having that person like deeply embedded in my life, this is on airplane mode.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be on Do Not Disturb.
It is on Do Not Disturb.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, all that to say, those are my final, the quotes. And then yours?
Well, it would just to be careful. Like I said, you know, it takes time to recognize toxic people. And sometimes you have toxic family. It's not easy to get rid of that.
We didn't even talk about that.
Got to take that in consideration. You know, you can't just write family off sometimes. It's hard.
Just before we close, though, let's talk a little bit about family. How do you deal with a toxic family member?
There's just times that you just have to deal with it. You can't exclude them. I mean...
Well, you can.
Well, if they're harmful in ways that are different. I'm just talking about someone who's negative and brings like that black cloud over a family, or... You don't look forward to that person coming over at Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Well, those are holidays. Yeah. And I think that there's some that you can just kind of grit your teeth through if you have a toxic person in your family. But one thing I would say, because I'm like hardcore about toxicity because they're poison, is don't unnecessarily expose yourself to that person. Don't do it.
Right. There's times, like I said, like on holidays, you have to deal with them. But yeah, you can't make yourself available.
Yeah.
You shouldn't make yourself available, you know. That's a tough one. I mean, we could talk about that.
Yeah, and we probably have like slightly different views on it because for me, I'm very unsentimental about that stuff. I'm like, I don't want that person. I don't want that person.
I'll put up with it. My therapist has told me, you've done it before, you can get through it again. Yeah. Like when you have to be around them. So I do that. I just grin, I just bear it.
Grit
my teeth. Let's say grin. Grit my teeth.
Grin and bear it. Grit your teeth.
Both. I do
grin
both.
And
grin and bear it.
Grin and grit.
I do both. Whatever. So I have to say. But
a family is good though. I'm glad you brought that up because we didn't talk about that. And
some
that's
people
so complicated.
Right. And some people are probably saying, listen, I have a family member. What do you want me to do? You just want me to, like just write them off, and sometimes you just can't. You can't do that.
Well, and I would say that you can, but it depends on how willing to be uncomfortable you are. Yeah. And for me, there's no amount of discomfort that I will, like I will take any amount of discomfort to not poison myself.
So I feel like if it's a minimal.
Yes.
But if somebody is a terrible person in your family, I'm talking about terrible, has done terrible things, you don't want to be around, that's totally different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just that pain in the ASS family member.
Annoying.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I would not tolerate.
Yeah.
I'd like that person, I don't care family or not, you are not allowed in my house.
Right.
So that's the difference. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But no, it just, it's okay to eliminate toxic people from your life that you can, because you have to worry about yourself.
Correct.
You know, and if you don't, it'll just bring you down. It's disturbing. It can really, really affect your life.
Yeah.
Being around toxic people.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
So learn to be, to recognize.
Yeah.
That'll be, the big thing is recognizing.
Yes.
Because if you don't recognize them, you'll never.
Yeah, and we camped out on that today. Yeah.
That would be my take.
Those are really good points. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're finishing strong, man.
I am strong.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So shall we bring it to a wrap? And as always, thank you for joining us today. I love you. I'm grateful that you're watching. Yes. We hope that you genuinely get something. And if it's just one word or one phrase or one sentence from today's share, we really hope that it changes your life for the better. That's the goal.
Yes.
That's my final word.
And for them to like us on,
don't forget. Okay.
You got to plug
We've
that.
been talking about
Come
that.
on.
Yeah. You originally were the person who was supposed to do the thing.
Just go.
Okay. So we are on Facebook and Instagram, more Instagram. And then also we have a website called gratitudeandattitude.life, which has a link to both our YouTube channel. If you just click on the video that's posted at the bottom, it'll take you right to our YouTube page, or you can find us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, we really hope that you will subscribe, because we want to know that what we're saying makes a difference and that what we're sharing and providing, the information we provide, is helpful and beneficial, and it makes your life a little more beautiful. So please subscribe, especially on our YouTube channel. And did I cover it?
You did great.
Okay.
See, I wouldn't be able to remember all that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, you do it. Wait a minute. What was that? I need somebody holding up some cards over there.
Cute
Where's Carlos?
cards.
He needs to hold up cute cards.
Yeah, Carlos was supposed to be here, but next time, hopefully.
Yeah.
And he had some valuable information on it, so maybe we'll loop back around a little bit. Okay, next time for our next podcast. This is the first time we've done this. Before you close us out, for the next podcast, we've talked about the people you don't want in your life. Our next podcast is going to be about choosing friends well and picking the people who you do want in your life. Yeah. So great. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be real good.
Yeah, I know, because it's more fun to talk about good stuff like that anyway.
Agreed.
So this is part one of a 2-part podcast, and we would love for you to watch the second part of this, which is, dealing with toxic people was today, but inviting amazing people into your life.
How to draw amazing people, like how to,
and how to pour into those people too.
And keep it healthy. And,
yeah. So we'll be talking about that the next time you see us.
All right. Well, we'll say goodbye. And I just want to say, to remember to take things lightly while living life deeply.
Yeah. So good. And we'll see you in the next podcast.
All right. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.